All right, this one's going to be a bit of an interesting one, and I think I'm going to have a fun time exploring it. Drama and gossip is, I guess, the foundation of what this video is all about, right? A dynamic that for probably ever has been very familiar for me. Actually extracting myself from situations of drama and gossip has been very uncomfortable for me because, again, like I was saying before, when you do things that are different from what you're familiar with, you don't get the same neurochemical high, right? The adrenaline and cortisol are not there, right? So if what you're familiar with is drama and gossip and you try to remove yourself from it, it's going to feel weird, right? Especially if you learn that that's what emotional intimacy is, even though it's not. Hint, hint, enmeshment. But what I want to do, instead of focusing just on drama and gossip and that dynamic between people, is instead, I want to put it into perspective that when you partake in that, you are actually fucking people with your shit, right? So you fuck a person with your shit. That person then goes and fucks another person with your shit as well. And it's just a full fucking circle thing. And that's that, right? I don't need to expand on that. That's that, right? It's just fascinating to me because, like, that's a majority of what I learned social interactions are and what I learned emotional intimacy is, right? So at this point in my life, I'm actually unlearning that that's what emotional intimacy is and learning to expand my idea, my understanding of emotional intimacy, right? And to make it very clear, I want to make this as graphic as fucking possible, right? I understand people might, kind of like hear like, oh, you're fucking people with your shit, and it might be like ew. Like no, let's look at it for what it is, right? Has somebody ever given you a hint that they just don't want to hear what it is that you have to say, right? But instead, they're just going to be nice and listen anyway because maybe they're afraid of losing you. Maybe they don't really know themselves well enough to know that they want or deserve better, right? I have listened to people for hours, for fucking years, tell me things that I quite genuinely fucking honestly do not give a flying fuck about. And I wasn't trying to be manipulative, but I thought that that's what relationships are supposed to be. I thought that somebody was supposed to show up in your fucking face and just I thought that that's how it was supposed to be, and I'm learning otherwise now, right? Yeah, fucking somebody with your shit. Do you find that your relationships consist of you just fucking vomiting all your emotional garbage and baggage into other people's space? If so, that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? So at this point in my life, I'm also learning that there are different ways to approach emotional intimacy. I've dealt with a lot of unsolicited advice. I've dealt with a lot of invalidation. I've dealt with a lot of everything, really. I've just a whole fuck ton of everything, right? Pretty much everything being boundary violations of myself, right? And for the longest time, I was attracted to that. I thought that that's just the way that relationships work, right? But now I'm seeing it from a different standpoint. And also, too, like, even recently, I have been continuing to fuck other people with my shit. And when I say that, this is not a physical, sexual thing. This is entirely a conversation, energetical thing. Like, this is me giving somebody else my shit, not really in an abusive way, I wouldn't say, because, I'm not verbally assaulting or attacking them. But like, the very least that a person can do is ask another person if they have the space, the emotional space to take something fucking on, because a majority of my life, literally, like, it's just been, rip open the permeable boundary even wider and just, just like all that. And I'm starting to learn that not only do I not want that, but it fucking hurts. It hurts to not be considered. It hurts to be violated. It hurts to be... And I'm going to make it very clear, because I'm talking here about how I've fucked other people with my shit, right? I'm realizing now that I've given people what it is exactly that I'm talking about here in this video, right? And I'm actually, second guessing if that's how I want to continue to live my life, right? And I'm also considering other ways of going about things, right? Considering new paintbrushes. I'm considering new brush strokes. I'm considering new colors, new hues, new tones, right? Instead of painting with fucking monotone gray. Emotional intimacy, whether in a friendship or a platonic, or a romantic, whether in a platonic or a romantic relationship, is very important to me. Making sure that a person feels safe, feels validated, and just to make it very clear, I have completely sucked with all of this throughout my entire life. I have violated people, specifically in terms of, mental and emotional and everything, without even realizing I've done it. I don't go around, calling people names and stuff that are hurtful, that are abusive and everything, but just kind of it's like, when you enter somebody's door, right, there are a few things that maybe you take into consideration, right? Maybe you wipe your shoes off. Maybe you take your shoes off. Maybe you say, thank you for having me. Maybe you, these, that, and the other. Imagine, somebody showing at your fucking doorstep, smashing through like a fucking SWAT team, and then just, that's what I've experienced as a majority of the social interactions that I've had. And, full honesty, it fucking sucks. And I'm ready to retire from that. But I'm also ready to figure out how to do it differently. And that's a really cool space of awareness to be in. But just having the awareness that you're fucking other people with your shit. Because I have learned that it makes a difference to know what it is that you're doing. Know what it is that you've been doing. Know whether or not people actually want it or not. Because if people don't want it, it's very off-putting, and it is likely that you won't hear back from them again. Or it'll be intermittent hearing back from them until they decide to full-on fucking ghost you. Emotional intimacy is real. It is not violating, right? If you do it in a way that is unhealthy, you will see the consequences follow. And yeah, I'm just unlearning a whole bunch of shit. Specifically in this case, learning to not continue to fuck people with my shit. And also, not only that, but also learning to not allow other people to fuck me with their shit. Just shutting it the fuck down. Yeah.